Okay, Algebra 3 Trig, welcome back. So today our goal is to get ready for the first quiz on sections R2 and R3. So follow along here because the quiz is going to closely resemble how the review is going to be. So in the first set of directions, it says write without negative exponents and simplify. At any point, if I do go too fast here, please make sure to pause pause and rewind as much as possible. I like to talk very fast during these videos because you got it cuts down on the time and the size of the file. So I apologize if it seems too fast for you guys. Just make sure you pause and rewind and as need be. All right, so we got to rate this without negative exponents. We're not allowed to have any negative exponents in any of our answers. So what we do is we just move things around. The a has a negative exponent, so we move it to the denominator, write a to the third. And the b on the bottom has a negative, so we move it to the top of the fraction. And b to the, not the third, I accidentally put that, should be b to the fourth. So in order to change exponents from negatives to positives, we move the location of it over, flip it over the fraction. All right, so let's do another one. So d has a negative, it's got to move down, d cubed. E has a negative, also has got to move down, e to the 12th. And f at the bottom has a negative, it's got to move up. All change to a positive. Number 3, we learned that anything to the power of 0 is 1. Very simple there. In number 4, we learned that this is actually showing times multiplication. We're multiplying two c's. The rule is we don't multiply the exponents, we're supposed to add the exponents. So what we do is negative 5 plus 5 is, of course, 0. And then anything to the power of 0 is 1. Number 5, same thing here. We are going to add the exponents because it's x times x. So 3 plus negative 5, that would be negative 2. And we are not allowed to have negative exponents in our answers. So we need to make a fraction, move the x to the denominator in order to change to a positive. And then since there's nothing left in the numerator, we've got to put a 1 there. Okay, next up, we are multiplying. If you look closely, there's nothing in between the parentheses, so that's implied multiplication. Now the 3 and the 5, we are going to multiply those together to make 15. Please don't confuse regular numbers with exponent rules, because in the exponents here, we are actually supposed to be adding them. So for the a's, we have 2 plus negative 3, and for the b's, we'll have an invisible 1 plus 4. So let's do those additions. A to the power of negative 1, b to the power of 5. And then we do need to change something here. Right here we have a negative exponent, so we got to make a fraction. The a will move to the bottom of the fraction, so a to the power of 1, but remember we don't need to put 1s as exponents. So leave the 15 and the b at the top. Do not move those down. It's only the a that moves down. Number 7. Now, this guy, it is multiplying, but first we do have some exponents outside of parentheses. Whenever we have that, we apply those exponents first. So the 3 right here, that is going to apply to both the 3 and the a. So 3 to the third, a to the third. And then this 2 will apply to each thing in its own parentheses. So 2 to the second times a to the second. So now, after that, we use our other rules. Well, 3 cubed is 27, and we can move things around here when they're being multiplied. So that'll be 27 times 4. The 4 I got from right here. 2 to the second power is 4. And then we can multiply those and get 108. And then we can do our exponent rules, a times a. So that would be, we have to add them. 3 plus 2 a to the power of 5. Letter B, just very similar to letter number 8. Number 8 is very similar in the beginning. The first step is just like number 7. What you need to do is apply the exponents first to each of their sets of parentheses. So this would be 3 to the second. Now the m, what's the rule? We got a 5 and a 2 outside. So that's called a power to a power, and we are supposed to multiply those exponents. And then the second set, we're going to have 2 to the second power and m to the power of -8. Where did I get the -8 from? I multiplied the exponents -4 times 2. Another power to a power. All right, so then now we can start moving some things around. 3 to the second is 9, times 2 to the second is 4, so they will multiply and get 36. Then the m's, m to the 10th times m to the -8th, we're supposed to add those, so 2 plus -8 would be 2 minus 8, or 10 minus 8, which is 2. So treat these things separate. You treat the numbers in front, called the coefficients, you treat them separately than you do the m's. It's kind of like two problems in one here. And sorry about that, my cat is trying to jump on me. Number 9 is an order of operations problem, also known as PEMDAS. So this 2 out in front is just going to drop down. We can't do anything with it until we get everything in the brackets down to one number. Brackets are treated like parentheses, by the way. Now, what do we do within that grouping symbol, within the bracket? Well, we got subtract, times, exponent, plus, times, minus. What should we do first out of those? We should do that first, the exponents. So we're going to bring everything down, except we're going to do 4 squared, so it'll turn into times 16. Okay, what's next here? Again, the 2 is just going to drop down. Got to get this bracket down to one number. Remember, in PEMDAS, after exponents comes multiplication or division left to right. So we should do this right here. So 6 times 16 will be 96. Please make sure you guys are filling out your notes as you do this. You can actually take screenshots of my work to add it to your notes, to your camera roll, or if you have a paper copy, please make sure you're pausing and writing all these steps down. Always want to have good notes, just in case I do open note stuff, assessments. All right, within the brackets, now what should I do? Right there, multiply. So that'll be plus 14. And then we can pretty much from here add or subtract left to right. This will be next. So 4 minus 96 is negative 92. Then we're going to do right here, negative 92 plus 14. This is negative 78. Then subtract those to get negative 79. And then this turns into, finally, the end. We're going to multiply and get negative 158. And then the last problem, what we want to do, find the degree of each term and the degree of the polynomial. So it's kind of like a two-part problem, so be careful with this on the quiz. So we have multiple variables here. So each term we want to add up the exponents. So the first one has a degree of 6. Second term has a degree of 8. Third term has a degree of 3, invisible 1 plus 2. And a constant term at the end always has a 0. So please make sure on your test that you're marking each individual term. And then after that, you go, okay, what's the degree of the whole polynomial? You would say the degree is 8. Remember, you just say what the biggest one is. Okay, guys, that was it for my review. So please make sure, watch it again if you want to. Watch things multiple times and it will sink in better. Okay? It's just like a movie. If you watch a movie once, you might not catch everything. Watch it a second time, you'll pick up on things and go, you know, I didn't notice that the first time. Same thing with learning in math and every other subject. All right, guys, be good.